Hi folks, we have a tournament for you that is being played right now, the Hands Tourney, which is an online event that had quite a lot of players to start out. Actually a few have been dropped because they didn't show up, but it was over 30 and 29 actually showed up this morning, and we have the final couple of games remaining. So my game in the top 8 has just finished, and we'll jump into one of the top 4 games that have just started a few minutes ago. So just to let you know, it's Radek against SerCarter, so Kraken against Martell, Aloof and Apart, and the other one is Alex against Djokovic, that's Valyrian still against Baratheon from the Shadows. So nice clash of styles today. We have all kinds of decks and 4 different factions in the top 4, so let's jump into one of the games. I guess this one that has already started. Not sure if it will be the first one to finish as well, because Radek's deck, as we know, Shadows with resets, can take some time, although the other one, Martell, is quite fast if it gets going. And yes, I played against SerCarter earlier, and it's interesting. It has 2 copies of Littlefinger's Meddling to potentially cancel the resets, and if that happens, then I think could be strong, although we see we're already a few rounds in. So we have Econ already played by Radek, and one of the resets, the Stranger, against some draw and King in the North on the other side. And let's see what the Stranger has got. Some 4-costers dead, including Milario, who is a nice character, protects the run from all kinds of stuff. And result-wise, it's pretty even, as you can see. And board state, I guess, is we could call it even as well, at the moment at least. Although Radek in this round 3 still on 6 gold in the challenges phase, and we know what that means with Lenny Shadows. That's a nice hit. The 1-coster, so what did it miss? It missed the cancel, and it missed the 2 big ones, the Viper and Ariana. So Ariana is the 7-coster, and the Viper is also the core one, so the 7-coster, which, to be fair, was not available for Radek to choose, so he got the best he could do here. And looks like we don't have anything really nasty like Robert Strong from Shadows. And now here comes Clever Feint. So Radek knows that 2 high-cost characters are in play, or in hand, I should say. And there goes the cancel. Cancels Clever Feint instead of cancelling the reset that could potentially come. So if now Morgulis is played, not a big deal for SerCarter, it seems, because he has the Econ and the big characters left in hand. And goes for Meddling anyway, I guess running out of options. So there is another Meddling. I know that because I played against this deck in Swiss. And the last one, I have no clue. Maybe I saw it, but yeah, don't remember now for a fact what it is. It could be a deck that does not go for any resets, because it gets all the Martell Lords and Ladies in play, and just incredible strength on the board. But if there is a reset, I don't know what it could be. Red keep cancels economy. Here is where Lenny Shadows is not so great, so with just a board like this, no keywords, nothing much to be done. You kind of need the stuff to come in from Shadows and do damage. And we have the father, which means at the moment there is some uniques here, so Boros, I guess, is the one to return if you can. And Milario would be nice here to protect Duran, but I think maybe if Quentin does challenges here for further power, he might be the one that is returned, or could be Clitus, just so that there are no dupes left on the board. Okay, just a second, we might have someone joining on commentary. And Boros goes for the challenge, which is defended. And I guess this is not really the kind of board you want to, where you want to suffer any military claims, so let's see what happens with this one, but now there's 5 gold, of course. So we have Saraaa joining us on commentary. Hello.
Hey.
So the game we are watching is SerCarter against Radek.
Oh yeah, I saw. Radek's deck is so strong.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to beat in the long game, and we are already in the situation, I guess, where SerCarter is down on cards in hand, 3 left, and yeah, still not over with the reset, still Morghulis in the plot deck.
And Hyris as well, or no?
Let's see, so I did play against Radek. He has Morghulis, March to the Wall, and the last one, I think it is the Harris, yes, but I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I think it is Hyris.
And now Radek even running away with this on power alone. So that's the one character that Sir Robert Strong cannot get from Shadows. And this, no, he doesn't bother, okay. Yeah, here we go. So I think we'll have probably Quentin now return to hand, and then Duran getting marched. Or the other way around. Here we go. So going for Morghulis on this side. So SerCarter has 1 plot left, and then he gets to play Behest again on Radek's last plot. I don't remember what this plot is. I don't know if it was revealed against me. The infamous Night Player loop.
Oh. Yeah, now it's gonna be the Econ choke.
Let's see what Red Keep does, if anything. Actually, no gold at the moment to
The
cancel
gold
economy.
route though.
Yeah, but not in the marshalling phase. So Radek against me actually played the 5-cost King's Landing to gain some gold during the opponent's marshalling, which I thought was quite interesting. I think it's an underrated card, and Lannister has some tricks with King's Landing. They can play Tunnels of the Red Keep and the Alchemist's Guild Hall, which both have the trait, so you can use them and then bring them out again in Dominance if you have leftover gold to draw cards with King's Landing, and then they stand again in the standing phase. Yeah, just a Viper, but he has to defend himself now against military claim, I'm afraid.
Yeah, cat.
Any tricks with water gardens? Probably not. Yeah, so much stuff happening even with 0 gold there. Ah, it's the other meddling, of course. Against Morghulis now, is there a cancel for this? Yeah. We've seen worse, probably. We've seen something like 4 resets. You can put even more in there. So there's 1 plot left for Radek, and we still haven't seen Mad King's Command and Dohaeris and First Snow, for instance. Of course, Wildfire Assault as well, but that's definitely not in the deck.
Yeah. I no cancel for. He used the cancel for Clever Fiend before, right?
Yes, he did. And that's alright, because Morghulis was played and killed a bunch of stuff that would have gone into shadows, so that's fair enough. In this round, Radek actually, okay, he's not going to do a lot of damage with the gold he has. But Duran's game window has passed now, and we saw 1 or 2 of them discarded anyway. Well, that's 14 dominance would win the game. Picasso has to either win dominance or do power back. He does power. And now I'm guessing we'll see Behest for SerCarter, just to check what the final plot is.
Yeah, it's the Harris, but doesn't do much now.
Goes with exchange directly. Maybe trying to win initiative as well. But Radek happy to let him go first anyway. but still alive here. I guess Milario is dead for sure, so that's... and then the Rose Road, that's not very nice.
I don't see that Ariane a lot.
Yeah, with Duran she can get some strength boost, and against me, SerCarter actually returned my 6 cost robber to hand with 3 power on him. He had a bodyguard, but doesn't save from her ability, so he's playing 1 copy, he said. And let's see if she does anything here. I guess Radek is just playing this correctly, right? Leaving stuff in shadows. And he's just going to strike back when it's his turn.
I don't think you can do much with Ariane here, just because she's prized as well. You
Oh
have to
yes,
return
she
her.
gets prized in Aloof, that's right. So yeah, that's it looks like it's going to end here, I think. Yeah, there we go. So, Lanny Kraken first finalist, and it's the first time we've seen this deck doing so well since the restricted list that what was it? What did it do? Bowels and Nightflower.
Nightflower, I
Yeah.
think.
So that was what we had previously, and then it was changed into Cersei for a few months or a year or so. And now it's back to what we had before, and this deck kind of disappeared, but this is the first time we've seen it in a relatively big tournament getting this far, and has a good chance in the final. So we'll see who the opponent is. Let's jump into the other game if it's still going on. Should we? Oh, well, the contrast.
Oh.
So here, 1 power here for each player. And
I
yeah,
know Drogo for Alex.
he's locked. Black says with 4 gold there. Stuff in shadows for Baratheon. But very weak board, so... But it is pretty early in the game, so we are in round 2. And...
There's Queen's Guard on Captain Grillo.
yeah, not exactly the character you want with this. It's non-terminal, so if you can get him off the board, you can reposition it. So economy,
Yeah,
and
I think
the father on one side. The father is going to trigger now with... it would with Viserys if there was an attachment to discard, but I don't see any. But could return... what could he do? Return Groleo to hand, maybe, to get Queensguard onto a different character. And on the other side we have Brand the Builder, so that's not going to do anything meaningful this round because the board is so weak.
yeah, no gold or something.
Yeah, but this deck, Baratheon deck, takes a long time for you to beat it. It's very grindy. You can play Throne and Chamber. I assume the restricted card is Traitor to the Crown here, so you can put that on all the power icons you see. And important to win dominance to get the economy location back here.
Is there Storm's End in this deck?
Well, it should be. The one that was published on TronsDB, this French version that basically everyone then copied, did play Storm's End. So I have a strong suspicion that it's in there. Now Marched is in the deck here for Targaryen, but it doesn't seem worth it to march Acolyte here. I think you save it for when an attachment comes into play to use it on Viserys.
Yeah, for the traitors, probably.
And for reserve, not opening with the Maiden to give this the 7 plus to reserve.
I think he usually discards a lot of cards for Targaryen abilities anyway. But he has a lot of draw as well.
Yeah, the agenda basically can be used for some draw, and then you have Growler for gold, which works really nicely. We've seen this agenda basically used as a good stuff agenda in decks. Just play like you would a normal deck and then 15, 17 attachments on top of that basically either replace themselves or are zero cost attachments that can give you 1 gold or something like that. And it's pretty nice. We saw last year Bing reaching the world final with that strategy in Baratheon. But pre-redesigns, this was pretty crazy. Targaryen was one of the strongest decks in the game when it was limit 3 per round, I think it was originally. Yeah, so still nothing huge here. There's no Khal Drogo, which was annoying against me, and Queensguard is on the wrong character, so just Daenerys at the moment. And without Renown, right? So she's not doing any damage.
Yeah, there is Drogo, I think, and then there's Barristan Selmy too, for the main character, I think.
Yeah, of course, they
That
both
all
have printed Renown. And you can put Dragon Egg on them if you find it for the insight. That works lovely with Queensguard as well. But the longer this goes on, of course, the better Baratheon's chances become. Because if no power is gained, then Baratheon gets those traitors into play eventually. And gets to play Dohaeris. Black Cell's still pretty locked though. It'll take a long time for that to be free. Marshalling them in the wrong order.
Yeah, then the other way around.
I don't speak a lot of French, but I do get what this is about. And yeah, I've done that so many times. Oh, and he's forgot the agenda as well.
Oh, and he forgot the address.
So that's a really bad marshalling phase there. And it could be decisive in the end, doing stuff like that. Well, there's Still 3 cards in shadows. So we see are they going to allow the take back here? Well, if you forget, you forget, I think. But if it's some kind of misclick where you pass marshalling by mistake. No, game is continuing. And now it's just going to be unopposed here. Oh, there we go. He does gain one strength at least for the Sin in Flames, so he can oppose and be killed, I guess. Oh, no, he cannot, because Daenerys gives him -1, right?
I am.
Okay, and we have a card in shadows. Now Queensguard is in play, which means it could be Pinch of Powder if it's an attachment. Could be also the Black Market Merchant, maybe that's a thing in Targaryen. But I have not seen it played in this deck yet.
What does the merchant do?
When it comes into play, searches top 10 cards for an attachment, I think with cost 3 or lower, and attach it to a character you control. So in Valyrian Steel, maybe that's an option.
The Lena would be really strong in this game, I think, if he can stay in play. If you have...
Let's see if Pinch comes in there. Now if you pinch the Lena, of course, she comes back with another trigger. But I don't know what this deck plays, so Bastard of Nightsong and probably there's an Edric in there. And Pinch is very repeatable here now, and will gain the
When she gets this card.
the stuff from the agenda, yeah. Well, at the moment, Queensguard is not on Daenerys, so it's not such a big deal. But
And
I think...
Queensguard cannot go on the Daenerys.
Yeah, cannot. It's a non-lady, but she's the only impactful character, I mean, so it's not on a character that does anything. And Delena would stop it. It's really tough to get around her, because it's just passive. But I think now the game is going away from Djokovic, even though the power gain is slow. It's going to be difficult to turn it around. Or maybe not, we'll see. So he has the power icon to win the power challenge back, and dominance. Goes for military.
Maybe he hoped that Viserys would die before he can trigger his ability, but
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I think
yeah.
Alex is too smart for that. But maybe, okay, he's thinking if he can reduce the board a little bit, then things start going his way. He gets Melisandre triggers and a traitor somewhere. And still time to turn it around in the power. Yeah, and Grolio stays in play. Yes, so he's very useful for the agenda and for the attachments. I mean, anytime something comes in, he's great economy, but I thought maybe he would try to reposition that Queensguard. There comes the pinch again. Now, this round maybe not so easy. If everything is strength 3, you have half a chance to defend against it. And this time he doesn't forget. There is also Imri in the deck. I think 2 copies. So if he came in, he could give Baratheon a good round, maybe even discard Black Cells to try to play another one.
That's kind of a bad round to play Fickle Bannerman.
Yeah, needs some gold at least here. And the other one, okay. That's still not great. The pinch can trigger here. Have a bunch of ways to do it really, because there is Reckless on the intrigue icon, so you can pull her into power, for instance, and then Daenerys has stealth now because of Viserion. But I guess we'll see the Harris next round now for Baratheon. Not pulling her into the intrigue challenge, instead just going for the unopposed, but not enough to pinch anything. Yeah, he's made it difficult for himself now to get a good pinch. He actually cannot even win military. I guess with both characters instead he could. So if this is properly defended now by the Fickle Bannerman, then maybe do power and trigger pinch. But then the Harris means the other three are staying in play anyway. Yeah, may as well defend this. I don't think Djokovic can win power on defense. That seems like the worst thing to do. Now he's going to lose power still. He can defend against pinch, I think, with 3 characters. So Daenerys starts 1, then it's 3 against 2 and red keep. And he's going to have to pay both of the Fickle Bannermen just to keep them.
The next round, even if he keeps them, there will...
So I guess you should defend this with... You can defend with just the 1. Okay, red keep means you don't lose by 5. And then you can do military and power back. Yeah, next round is going to be a slightly different situation. So the Fickle Bannermen get their strength back, but Daenerys now, she has Stoker, which means she has a bunch of strength. Difficult to even see how many attachments she has. So she should have strength 10, I think.
just stares at next round.
Well, it's going to be 6-6. And 18 minutes to go. So still pretty close. And now I'm thinking the Harris. And that will leave Daenerys, probably Groleo and Viserys in play. with a bunch of cards in hand, 6 I guess, since some are being discarded now. Against top decking, but a few cards in shadows. So if you have something like a Shadow Priestess in there, and maybe a Traitor to the Crown, it's still playable this for Baratheon.
Traitor seems pretty crucial right now to keep those bannermen.
Yes, and I think Alex misplayed that round slightly. He had a chance for sure to do it on the Intrigue Challenge to get the pinch trigger, but didn't manage it. I think he's going to keep Viserys in play forever now, basically until he sees Traitor. Does not go for the heresies. Prepared to wait because the score is pretty close, but he's in danger of losing the bannerman. That's what worries me here. If they go, that's such a huge swing, and then of course the power counts for Alex in that case as well. Yeah, he can kneel all of them basically.
Still works if it's knelt. Oh, except the way.
Yeah, he's not managing to protect the red keep so far, and this round if he loses power, of course, it's a disaster. And keep 6, which means probably this time he has Shadow Priestess planned from shadows.
Priestess cannot kneel characters with attachments, right?
Right, she would not be able to get Daenerys. I think for Daenerys you need Traitor really. It's the only hope. And look at the draw, so we have 37 left in one deck and 35 in the other. And of course Alex has started with 15 cards more in the deck. He's just outdrawn Djokovic here by a lot. Okay. Okay, so now we'll get the Harris for sure. But then of course he can get Queensguard. But what do you do? So you're not keeping him, right? You have to keep Daenerys with all of her attachments.
And does Drogon give Daenerys renown, the other dragon?
No, he can stand her if she wins a challenge.
Oh, Rhaegal can stand her, yes.
Yeah, the one that
And
is
then-
missing, the 4 cost Is it 4 cost? The Drogon hatchling, I think it's 4 cost, right? Or is it 3 cost? 3 cost.
don't know.
He gives her renown, yes. But I'm not sure which one is in the deck. So sometimes you see the 2 hatchlings and then the 6 cost Drogon. Okay, so Drogon is for Shadow Priestess. I don't know what's the power situation. So Daenerys with a ton of strength and stealth. So if she gets traitor, then I think Djokovic is safe here for the power challenge.
Trick first, then one of the bannermen is gone.
Yeah, which is not so bad. If we assume that the Harris is happening, then getting that back to hand might be alright. Brave to attack here. Doesn't seem like there is any good reason. And we'll have 10 minutes left soon. So, I don't know. I think Baratheon has a chance here. If we don't know what is in shadows, obviously, but if Imri is in shadows, then when we go into the last round, he can just sacrifice all the locations, make sure everything is knelt, and then Baratheon wins some unopposed challenges and wins on time. And goes for the other challenge as well. So must be confident that either he's going to defend the power challenge with what is in shadows, or he doesn't care. He knows he's going to do Harris, and then whatever happens to the Fickle Bannerman is fine. Oh, well, that's a weird play for me, because he would win the game, I think, in the final round if it went to time. It's just going to be used here. Kneel everything, I guess. Do a power challenge and win dominance.
Mm.
And he's lost all the locations now. I wonder, is there any chance that this deck is now not playing the Harris, but actually playing Mad King's Command? That would be alright with 3 locations, but I doubt it. Well, Grole at least can stand. What's with the noble lineage here? It was in place somewhere. It's in the discard pile, okay. So don't need to worry about the power challenge. Well, still loses it. And loses black cells, which Imri freed earlier by discarding it, so that's
So
interesting.
why not defend with both here? Or at least with the Shadow Priestess.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe he was afraid that it could somehow lose the power challenge against Grole, but I don't think so. That would be a disaster, of course, if there was something like off to Galtown in hand. Now, he might just play on now, right? Without the Harris, he could go first. Oh, yeah. Could go first.
That's a surprising plot.
2 renown on the Bannerman with power claim. It's almost a victory, not quite. Yeah, I forgot about this, of course, duel. That's the one plot that I don't have in my version of this deck. It's just sometimes does nothing, but in this game, very timely here.
Is there something that could stand Danny without her being in the challenge?
Well, in theory, of course, there is Plaza of Pride, but I don't see that happening. Okay, and now we have another character with renown, but no power icon, so he would have to win military instead.
There's also Eerie, I think, that could stand Danny. Or is it the other one? Oh.
Seal of the hand, there we go. But surely we are in round 6, so there has to be a traitor to the crown at this point. Okay, that's a lot of strength in the power challenge now. And the thing is, if she is in the challenge, of course, she has Stoker, which means not everyone can gain power for renown. And that's going to call traitor. So just all the solutions now after that duel. Yeah, here is where Imri, right, would be amazing. You could do it now and time would expire this round. Naming black cells, that's interesting. Okay, that would stop Daenerys, of course, for just the same. So, but I'm thinking traitor is surely in shadows now. So can Djokovic defend here and survive the round. Time will expire. He is ahead, but a lot of that power is on the fickle bannerman, so he can't let them change control. She still has stealth and a bunch of strength, of course. Yeah, this one is not going to work, so there is a limit twice on Baratheon. He can defend this if he likes. And stand. Could there be a Delena in shadows? There we go. Yeah, you can never know against the salt. Okay, so that's locked him out. At the moment, at least. And still one gold left for potentially for traitor.
And Alex now has no money to maybe. I already used the agenda anyway.
So he's still winning power. If Djokovic passes right now with Daenerys' stealth, he can still win the power challenge. And this is dangerous. We'll know in a second who wins the game. Going for it with everything, but it's problematic because there is Stoker and he needs to win both. He needs to win by attacking and then he needs to win on defense as well.
Yeah, if he now tries to defend with Danny, he has enough to win on the attacking.
Yeah, if Daenerys kneels, of course, that changes the strength of all the characters that are in the challenge at the moment. Yeah, defense with the one character that cannot get traitored, so it will be opposed. And it's 14, is it? Not quite enough. So traitor for Dany, and it's just about enough. Now, is she going to try to do intrigue to get pinch? Still attacking. So she can pinch one, which of course brings Djokovic down to 11 immediately.
Yeah, but now he can't really defend the crown, the power challenge.
Yeah, I wonder. Could he have... yeah, looks like he's going to concede. I was thinking, could we have milk in shadows? Because if you put milk on a Fickle Bannerman, then of course it doesn't change control. And okay, one gets pinched and power claim, but he might still be ahead after that. Now let's see. There comes the power, so with unopposed and power claim, that's 7, 7, 13, and the 2 Fickle Bannerman change control. If there is no milk now, that should be it. Yeah, well, gave himself a good chance. Almost had it. I wonder, maybe he could have played this a little bit differently, but if there's no traitor in shadows, then okay, we're just speculating here, but could have something completely useless. I think if he kept Imri for this round, it probably would have worked, but then of course the previous round would be a disaster maybe. So yeah, it's same old Alex against Radek, the two best online players probably that seem to win all the tournaments. And yeah, again, Clash of Styles. We'll see if Radek's resets work against this. It's quite resilient, but yeah, can't survive everything. And there we are. Now let's see what was in shadows. If he lets us know.
Assume not trader.
Red Cape and the Banished. Interesting. Okay, so he had to spend the gold to get Delena, but if he could get Banished on... yeah, well, Daenerys is double duped, so we can't get rid of her. Yeah, wasn't really something to take advantage of, I'm afraid. Alright, so 14. Yeah, hate it when that happens. I've had my share of those in recent times. So we can look forward to the final now. And we can have a look at some of the stats. So this is an interesting situation today. No Greyjoy, even though there's 29 players. So probably the biggest tournament ever that has not had a single Greyjoy. And it's had, yeah, 4 factions dominating here: Targaryen, Martell, Lannister and Baratheon with the most entries. And then we had 3 Stark Filthies who actually were doing pretty well, including your own, right, Saraaa? Making the cut
Yes.
in this one.
And then they all lost in the first round of the top.
Yeah, Argento was King of Swiss, undefeated, lost to this Baradek. Then Saraaa lost to Alex, and the last one was Elise losing to Gabriel. Knights Watch Aloof apart. Yeah, some interesting decks. So this is probably just a few days before the next restricted list that finally deals with Martell Knights of the Hollow Hill. But on this occasion we've only had one. I think probably people getting bored of it and yeah, just preparing for the new era when it won't be such an easy deck to play. So we just had one and it did well, made the quarterfinals, as you can see, lost to Radek's deck. Yeah, but lots of stuff we haven't seen a lot of recently. Kraken coming back, we have Martell Aloof and apart with all the lords and ladies. We have, what else? Bara Kohor. I played Bara Kohor fairly decent day for me. I'm usually always play control, but tried to see if I could make this one work, because in friendly casual games I seem to win almost all of them with cohort, but yeah, tournament's not so easy. Many-faced Godly in Lannister, probably some clansmen there. And what else? Stark, Trident. Martin played Lannister, Aloof and Apart, which was interesting. Played the 7-cost Joffrey to kill characters, which is also something that has been in the game for years, but never really been competitive. So, yeah.
I saw now a few more people play Aloof and Apart with what's the new commander? He's also 6 cost, so
Sir
maybe
Devon
it makes it,
Lannister.
yeah, makes it a bit more bold, the agenda.
Yeah, and it's the most represented agenda in this tournament. 5 entries with 4 different factions. So still going strong. Okay, I guess the players will take a few minutes now. 5 minutes they're saying, okay, so 3 already gone. And then we can have a look at the final.